Good afternoon. My name is John Skaya. I live here in Putnam County, but what I wanted to talk about today was something a little more local. We've heard a lot of national issues, and I wanted to focus more on our own community. Would it surprise you to find out that there are nearly 60,000 people in Alachua County living in poverty? It's 23%. 23%. About 10 years ago, I was working for United Way of North Central Florida, and this was just when the recession was hitting us, the big recession. And we got a call one day from a single mother, 3 children, and her electric bill was due that day. She had no money, she had no job, she had no food even to feed her kids, and she was really desperate. And she called and said, "I need help." And I had just gone through training, so I knew I've got just the answer for you. Hang on the line, I'm going to transfer you over to 211, and they're going to put you through to people that can help you with this problem. And I couldn't even hang up. And she said, "I don't want to talk to them. I've talked with 211, and they can't help me. I need help. And what are you going to do?" And I said, "Well, there's not much I can do. Let me transfer you to 211. I know we have resources that can help you with this." And she said, No. What are you personally going to do to help?" And that hit my heart. I stammered, I put her on hold, and I finally did put her through to 211, but that question just sticks in my head. What was I personally going to do? What can I do? I'm going to talk a little bit today about the United Way of North Central Florida. This is an organization, it's a local charity, that focuses on local issues. First, I'm going to talk about some of the problems that exist in our community, then about United Way itself and what you can do to help out. I mentioned 23% of residents in Alachua County living in poverty. The state average is 16%. We're about 50% above that. But it's not just Alachua County, it's also the surrounding counties, Dixie, Levy, Gilchrist. And we like to think that, poverty, that happens in other counties. This is a rich county. Alachua is actually the worst. Gilchrist and Levy, maybe some of these places, and you think, rural people and poverty. 22% in Gilchrist, 23% in Levy. So with Alachua County, we're really at the top of the list. That's 63,000 people. 63,000 in Alachua County. 43,000 people in Alachua County self-report as being food insecure. So that's roughly 1 in 5 are saying, "I don't know where my next meal's coming from." It's tragic. Some schools, and I'm talking about the elementary education, some schools report up to 95% of their kids are on the free or reduced lunch program. That's 18,000 children in Alachua County, all told. 7,300 senior citizens in our county are totally dependent only on Social Security for their income, for everything. But the problems, I think, are when we look at our children, that's where it's the worst part. 43% of all 3rd graders in Alachua County failed the FCAT reading portion. That was in 2013. That's reading comprehension. Surrounding counties report similar results to that. During the 2012-2013 school year, 71% of students in Bradford County, 69% of students in Levy County graduated high school. Less than 3 out of 4. For the 18,500 children in Alachua County that are eligible for Medicaid, there's only 7 pediatric dentists. 7 dentists and 18,000 kids. For most of the kids, that just means what you expect. cavities, tooth pain, and a lot of lost schools. So is it any wonder that some of these issues are all connected? I think, you know, it still comes back to, for me, that question. What can I personally do about it? United Way of North Central Florida, I guess, let me go back about 15 years, around 2000. United Way as a national organization started looking at their process. And they started saying, you know, there's got to be a way for us to be more efficient. And what they determined, that one of the solutions that they came up with was they moved from fundraising, focus on fundraising, to a focus on results. So in other words, instead of measuring dollars raised as their goal, how much money can we bring in, they looked at how can we take the money that we bring in and do the most good with it. United Way of North Central Florida, our local branch, is one that adopted this new program. In fact, only 16% of United Ways nationwide have adopted this program. Local dollars go to support local programs. And in fact, what happens is with the impact-based funding, all of these programs have to apply to United Way for funding. They supply financial statements. They show how many people are going to be helped, and they predict results. And even then, with those results, they go back and they verify those results. And if they don't get the results that we expect, then the funding gets withdrawn from those people. A lot of other charities, as an example, you hear about a disaster in Haiti and you call up the Red Cross and you give them $20. The fact is the Red Cross doesn't need to spend that money in Haiti. It's true. Some other board of directors out of state gets that money in and they decide, where does that money go? Where do we need to spend that money to do the most good? Locally, with the United Way, it's local volunteers. These are people that actually review financial statements. They go and visit these sites, and they look at the programs, and they decide not just which programs get funded, but how well they get funded. How much money do they get? United Way of North Central Florida supports the 211 program that I talked about. That connects people. They have resources in the community. If you have a need, you contact 211. It's sort of like 911, but it's for non-emergency emergencies. Just like that. I don't have turkey for Thanksgiving. I don't have money to pay the electric bill. I need to get food for this weekend. United Way of North Central Florida also does the VITA, which is Volunteer Income Tax Assistance. This is for people in need. They will actually help you fill out your tax returns. This is all free. Volunteers will actually do this for you. They do the Reading Pals program. This is where volunteers go into schools, read to kids. It's a great program, all run by United Way. They even do the Weekend Hunger Backpack program. They started that program as a model in just a few schools, and this is where kids in the food insecure homes get a backpack on Friday full of food. So they don't have to worry about what are they going to eat over the weekend. On Monday, they bring in the empty backpack and it gets filled again. That program's now taken over by Catholic Charities, but originally was started by United Way of North Central Florida. In case you were wondering, say, oh, you know, I don't know anybody that needs help. Their own studies have shown 1 in 3 individuals have been helped by some program sponsored by United Way. In here, that's 3 or 4 of us. 3 or 4 of us have actually used a program sponsored by United Way. There's so many ways to give. Local businesses will do payroll deductions. Of course, you can give cash, make a one-time gift, check, credit card. 80% of the money gathered by United Way of North Central Florida is actually returned to the community, which is a huge amount for them to give back. Quite different than some of the other charities. In fact, if you go to Charity Navigator is one of the, I would call it watchdogs for charities. So you go to Charity Navigator and you pull information up about charities. They actually received a 4 out of 4 star rating for accountability and transparency. That's our particular branch. 3 out of 4 overall rating. With in-kind donations and matching funds through federal grants, every dollar given to United Way of North Central Florida is going to turn into $3. So it's a multiplication, it's a leveraging effect. In fact, the Early Learning Coalition here in Alachua County takes that $1, turns it into $16. That's again through leveraging and matching grants. And a lot of people think, well, I just don't have enough money to give to United Way. $5 every week gives a dental sealant, annual checkups to 1 child in school. Double that, $10 a week, feeds 2 senior citizens home delivered hot meals for a whole year. And I can tell you that I'm involved in our workplace, and the vast majority of people only give $1 or $2 a week. It's not the amount that you can afford to give, it's the fact that we get so many people that are willing to give just that tiny little piece, and the fact that your $1 becomes $3. Last year, again, through leveraging and matching grants, United Way of North Central Florida gave $11 million in support to the local area. $11 million. So I still hear that question all the time. What are you personally going to do? I said 60,000 people. I could never pay this woman's bills. I could never feed her children. And even if I could, there's another 59,900 some people who possibly have that very same need. But I could support a program that takes local dollars, keeps them local. I can support a program that sees a need in the neighborhood and wants to focus on it. And this is it. United Way of North Central Florida. I think I've said a lot about it, and you know that I'm a believer. How do I know all this information? I am one of the volunteers, and I've gone to these programs, and I've read the financial statements, I've done site visits, I've made decisions about the limited funding we have and where it goes. And I know that this is a program that does its very best to make an impact on the community. But don't take my word for it. What I would suggest is go to the website. It's unitedwayncfl.org. Volunteer. Doesn't cost you anything but time. See the programs, see the need in the community, see how they help, and see what you can do to help. Because someday somebody's going to call and ask, what are you personally going to do? Have an answer. Thank you.